today's OGI webinar, QuikWater Control Systems. Today, Lacey McGrew, OGI's Electrical Engineering Lead, will be presenting about QuikWater Control Systems. If you have questions over the course of the webinar, please feel free to type them in the console over on the right side. You can see I've posted a couple of messages there already. And we will have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So Lacey will get through the presentation, and if there are any questions, we'll take care of those at that time. If you do have further questions after the webinar ends about QuikWaters in particular, you can contact the QuikWater sales manager, Landon Nealon, here at OGI at sales@ogipe.com. And of course, he can recruit any engineers or anyone else who might be able to answer your question. But with that, I think I'll go ahead and just turn it over to Lacey. So Lacey, go ahead. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to talk just a little bit about our QuikWater control options and what those systems can do. We're going to get started. And we're just going to talk about our two main systems today, the GE PLC with the temperature controller. That's actually what you see in the picture on the screen right now, as well as our Allen Bradley PLC with an HMI. We do offer two different HMIs. We offer an Allen Bradley panel view HMI as well as a Seymour HMI. All of our control panels are UL 508 certified. They're listed typically for general location, as well as having NEMA ratings available for 3R, 4, and 4X. So we're going to jump in with the GE PLC with the temp controller. This is a simple system. It's got 7 safety mode indicator lights. You see them up there at the top of the control panel. It's got 1 blinking alarm code light. It's got a burner control switch and a cleaning mode switch. It's got a temperature controller, as well as the Siemens combustion controller that you'll see on all of our QuikWaters. It's also got an optional feature, another thing you will see on all of the QuikWaters. It's got the ability to put a transfer pump VFD in. This will control your pressure on your discharge. It allows us to keep a steady pressure on the discharge, which makes the unit itself a lot more efficient. It allows the unit to ramp up or ramp down as needed based on demand. This is something we offer with all of our QuikWaters. Next up, I've got my Allen Bradley PLC with an Allen Bradley HMI. The Allen Bradley HMIs come in 7-inch or 10-inch. They have main menu screens, alarm screens, temp control screens, you name it. It's also got that Siemens combustion controller, as well as the optional VFD I discussed a moment ago. And our last option is really the same as the previous one, only it's a Seymour HMI. The Seymour HMIs are a little bit bigger. You're going to get an 8-inch or a 10-inch. It's got all the same screens and everything that the Allen Bradley's got. It has also got that Siemens combustion controller. It also features the option to have the VFD on the transfer pump. But the one catch with the Seymour HMI is it's got a remote application available for your cell phone, tablets, etc., where you can view the HMI and interact with the HMI just like if you're standing right in front of it. It's a really cool application with the Seymour, great functionality. One of the main questions we get here is not so much what is an HMI, but why do I need an HMI? An HMI stands for Human Machine Interface. And that's a little tech sounding, it's a little scary for some people, but it's really very simple. All it is this is the touch screen that translates all the PLC's bits and bytes into understandable information about your heater. It doesn't change anything about the way the system works at all. The system works the same. It just improves our ability to understand the system as a whole. Reasons for an HMI. This HMI screen is going to give you a full system overview. It's going to populate alarms, all kinds of things. It's going to make it a lot easier to understand what's going on with your heater and why. It gives you improved unit control. Not only is it going to show you what's going on, it gives you extended functionality of interacting with it. You're going to be able to handle a little bit more hands-on. And my last 2 points actually kind of go hand in hand. Simple and effective troubleshooting and enhanced value. The reason these go hand in hand is, for instance, if I send a service tech out to check out a GE system that might have an issue, they might have a blinking light to start with. They'll have to sit there and they'll have to count the blinks to figure out what the error code is on the PLC. Those little indicator lights are way harder to diagnose than a than an HMI screen is. With the HMI, we're going to get a direct informational alarm. It's going to tell you when the alarm happened and where it falls on the safety chain in the service screen. And I'll show you that service screen here in a second. Having the HMI can save you about 20 minutes on that service call at minimum. Sometimes a lot more than that, depending on what's going on. We're going to walk through some of our basic screens. Customization is always available. We do a lot of custom HMI screens for customers who are looking for something specific, but these come pretty much standard on all of our QuikWater units. We'll start off with our main menu. Everything's there when you load up the HMI. You just kind of get started. You've got your burner startup, your temp control, those alarm screens I discussed, and even a help screen. So here's our burner startup screen. It's kind of the brain of the operation. It's going to show you, what pumps are on, whether or not the heater's in warm-up mode. Now, warm-up mode is something that is available on all of our control systems. However, it's really useful with the HMI. It's most functional with the HMI because it's easier to interact with it because of these screens. So what that warm-up mode is that a lot of our customers have very narrow tolerances for the temperature of water they need at the discharge on the QuikWater. And we don't want them, it's kind of like your hose in the summer. You start it up and you want the water to be a little bit cooler, but it's going to come out hot because that's the ambient temperature outside. The QuikWater is the same. When there's no demand, when you're not using it, that water is going to hit that ambient temp. Well, you don't necessarily want that ambient temp as your discharge. So what will happen is the heater has a warm-up mode, and when that warm-up mode is active, it will not allow the transfer pump to turn on until we're within a plus or minus 5 degrees of the set point for the water temperature. You can also see, your valve status on here, burner enable, what the actual tank temp is, and what the temp set point is. So this is kind of that central control. A lot better than just the 7 indicator lights. Here is the temperature control screen. Very easy to use. Easy to set your set point, easy to see what the water temperature is, burner out rate, the whole 9 yards. And here's that service screen. Again, way more than 7 indicator lights, no sitting and counting blinks. Gives you a great starting point when you're talking to our service technicians because you've got the heater's down and you need to get it back up. Well, you've got a red light on that high gas pressure switch. That gives them a starting point to start diagnosing what's going on with that heater. It's a lot easier to understand. This is our maintenance screen. And as you can see, somebody actually compared this for me the other day to a car odometer. I really like that comparison because while you can reset, kind of like a trip odometer, you can reset the runtime hours since the last maintenance. So let's say you have somebody come out and do maintenance on your burner. We can reset the hours between those maintenance visits, but it's still going to accumulate in that total runtime hours screen. That is not able to be reset, just like the odometer in your car. This is great for improving the life of your heater, making sure you're getting your maintenance done on time, making sure you know exactly what's going on with these pumps and these motors. HMIs also come with a great help screen, central location to get help on all the screens. What's really nice is not so much this screen, but the next screen. And this is what those help screens look like. When you pull up your burner startup help screen, you can touch any of these little indicators on here and it's going to populate down in that little square beneath the picture of the heater exactly what that indicator means and what its different statuses are. Any question you've really got, you're going to be able to sort it out right here. We also provide a PLC I/O screen. Anybody that's ever looked at a PLC trying to find a spare, trying to figure out which one's active, which one's not active, this is a great way to look at that. A lot easier to read than having to pick through the wires on the PLC or look at the little tiny screen on the PLC to see what I/O is actually active. We also have an alarm screen. This is going to give that great clear alarm message that I mentioned earlier. It's also going to give you the occurrence time and the date that it happened, and it'll stay there until it's been cleared. Big thing, human beings love to push buttons. I don't know why, but we do. One of the main concerns with having a screen like this controlling a piece of industrial equipment is definitely accidental touches, accidentally messing up a set point, somebody who's not trained in the equipment changing stuff within the system. We can manage that by having an administrative password and a user password. We can give you different logins to kind of add some security to that system. This is going to keep people from just accidentally bumping up your set point or bumping down your set point and changing different settings on the heater that don't need to be changed. So just kind of wrapping up, our main systems that we offer are that GE PLC with the temperature control. This is the system that I keep referring to as the blinking light system. It's got the 7 indicator lights, it's got switches for controlling the burner and on off, and it's got a blinking alarm code light to let us know what the PLC is doing, as well as a temperature controller mounted in the door. Our other option is the Allen Bradley PLC with an HMI, and we offer both HMIs. We offer an Allen Bradley panel view that's either 7 or 10 inches. It's got all the screens I showed you a minute ago. And we also offer that Seymour HMI with the Allen Bradley PLC. And the real kicker with the Seymour, again, is that it's got a remote connectivity application that you can get through Seymour. That's going to allow you to take care of your HMI remotely from wherever you're at, even if you're on vacation, as long as you have Wi-Fi. Last thing I'm going to talk about real fast is that OGI is a UL listed panel shop. We do have UL listings available in both hazardous and general locations. We interact a lot with our customers. They come to us and go, hey, you know what? Not only did I buy a really great heater from you guys, but we'd also like to incorporate this sump pump system. Can you do the controls for it? Yes, we can. We offer PLC programming, control system design. Our panel shop has a full range of fabrication abilities. We've done pump control systems, lighting systems, major shop ventilation projects. You name it, somebody in this group can do it. So definitely reach out to us if you've got more than just heater needs. And that's about all I've got. So Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you for your Q&A.
All right. Thanks a lot. Let's see. We have a couple of questions here. Oh. Okay, so first up is a question from Paul. Can another brand water heater such as Kimco or Ludel be retrofitted to your PLC Seymour control system?
Definitely it can be. That would be a custom system, but we could totally do that, yes.
Okay, great. And the next one is from Larry. Does QuikWater come standard with a backup standby recirculation pump? Are there still the chevrons in the stack, or what design?
Jose?
Hello, this is Jose Pereira. I'm the Director of Engineering of OGI Process Equipment. And let's see, our QuikWater units, they do have what we call a recirculation / chamber pump. That is for internal operation of the QuikWater unit. I think what the question refers to is the other applications on which we actually operate based on a external tank. And yes, those are actually standard operations for us. That means the QuikWater is actually going to fill up an external tank. And then what we will do, we monitor the tank of that external, we monitor the temperature of that external tank. And if the temperature of that tank actually drops below a preset set point, we will actually recirculate the water from that tank through the QuikWater to bring it up to set point. So yes, it is possible.
Okay, thanks, Jose. Looks like those two are the only two questions for this session. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. But if you do have any questions that come up after the session, feel free to email those to us. The easiest way. Larry is asking further about the chevrons, it looks like, before we sign off.
I honestly am not sure what he's referring to on the chevrons.
Are you able to type in a little bit more detail about the chevron question, Larry?
Diffusers.
I'm not sure, but Larry, if needed, we can please send us an email with your contact information. I will give you a call and we can discuss this over the phone.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll talk on that one after the session. So thank you, Larry, for your patience. So we will go ahead and sign off now. Again, if you need to contact OGI, you can email us at sales@ogipe.com. We also encourage you to follow OGI and QuikWater on social media. We'll be doing another webinar in 3 weeks. That one will be covering our Terry heaters. And we will continue these, so probably about monthly after that. So thank you for joining today. Thank you, Lacey, for presenting today. And we look forward to seeing all of you again soon.